We live in a world that constantly teaches us to prove ourselves. We are told to be the loudest in the room, the most confident in the group, to show our strength before anyone questions it. Because if you don't, people might not respect you. But Krishna never lived that way. He was not just a wise teacher, he was the embodiment of wisdom itself. He was not just powerful, he held the entire universe in his hands. And yet, again and again, he chose to appear simple, calm, almost ordinary, as if he had nothing to prove at all. He didn't enter great halls demanding recognition. He didn't interrupt conversations to remind everyone who he truly was. He didn't walk like a king, even when kings bowed in his presence. Instead, he did something very few people ever master. He listened more than he spoke. He observed more than he corrected. And in doing that, he allowed others to reveal their true nature, without ever needing to challenge them. Because Krishna understood something many of us still struggle to accept. When you appear too strong, people resist you. They try to compete, to challenge, to outshine. But when you let your light rest quietly in the background, the arrogant become overconfident. They speak too much. They act without reflection. And without realizing it, they expose their own weaknesses. This wasn't manipulation. It was patience. It was the wisdom of someone who didn't need to win a game, because he already understood exactly how it would end. He knew that the proud often walk toward their own downfall. All you have to do is give them space, and they will tighten the rope on their own. The louder they get, the clearer the truth becomes. Not because someone silenced them, but because they revealed themselves. That's why Krishna rarely argued. He didn't waste his energy trying to correct those who were blind to their own arrogance. He simply let them walk ahead, confident in their greatness, until they stumbled on their own ego. And even then, he didn't say, "I warned you." He didn't mock them. He simply stood with the same quiet presence he always carried, calm, steady, rooted in something far beyond pride. Because true wisdom doesn't need to shine loudly. It glows quietly. It doesn't chase attention. It waits. And when the noise fades, when everything else starts to fall apart, it gently steps forward, not to destroy, but to guide. This is what Krishna showed us throughout the Mahabharata. He could have crushed Shishupala's arrogance with a single word. He could have ended Karna's arguments with one line of truth. He could have stopped the war before it ever began, not through force, but through brilliance. But he didn't. He let people speak. He let them insult him. He let them believe he was just a charioteer or a cowherd, nothing more. Because he wasn't seeking applause. He wasn't trying to dominate. He was here for something far greater, to protect Dharma. And that meant letting the truth reveal itself in its own time. That's what made Krishna so powerful. Not only his divine knowledge, but the quiet way he carried it. He didn't wear his wisdom like a crown. He wore it like silence. And in that silence, people underestimated him, until it was too late. We often feel the need to prove our value. We want to be taken seriously. We want others to know that we are capable. But sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do is step back. Let them assume what they want. Let them feel they are ahead. Let them speak more than they should. Because the moment you stop needing to prove your power, that's the moment it becomes unshakable. It doesn't mean you stay quiet forever. It simply means you speak from a place of calm, not from the need to be seen. Krishna showed this not only through his teachings, but through the way he lived. He chose to play the simpler roles: the charioteer, the messenger, the friend. And in doing so, he showed us something rare. You don't need to show off what is real, because what's real reveals itself, not through loudness, but through presence. So if you ever find yourself in a space where you feel unseen, if someone mistakes your silence for weakness, if you feel tempted to speak just to be respected, remember Krishna. Remember how the divine often chooses to appear small, not to hide, but to humble those who believe they are great. Remember how the truly wise do not rush to defend their worth. They simply wait. They wait for the moment when truth rises, and when it does, it doesn't need protection. It speaks through silence. It stands in stillness. And it wins, without ever needing to fight.